This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, article in the description box where Anthony Joshua has responded to Deontay Wilder and his team, i.e. Shelley Finkel, Deontay Wilder's master, wanting to not fight Anthony Joshua for Undisputed and won't even negotiate or even look at the fight until 2020, maybe 2021. This is what I've been telling you guys for a long time now, that Deontay Wilder does not want to fight. He's scared to death of Anthony Joshua, and so are his team. Shelley Finkel has never had any faith in Deontay Wilder, which is why he called him a prospect on 33 fights. Anyway, this is what Anthony Joshua had to say. Wilder's just starving the fans from an undisputed heavyweight championship fight. Wilder has smart people around him. He must know what he's doing or be saying it to try and throw me off. Who knows? He might want the fight next, but I don't see why he would want to wait until 2020, because 2020 turned into 2021. You know what I mean. We need to get these negotiations the way now in the background. I'll focus on my fight, but he's got people representing him. I've got people representing me that can have these conversations so we can have the fight in 2019. I don't know why he must wait so long. I can't control the division. I think people assume that we were the ones who are dodging people. They did a great campaign to make a name off the back of our success in this side of the pond, and with all that talking and hearsay, none of them have stepped up to fight. So what can I say? Talk is cheap. I'll be in America at the time that Wilder takes on Dominic Breazeale, and it won't mess up my body clock, so I will definitely watch it. In England, I don't really stay up too late to watch fights because I have a son and he's up at like 7 a.m, so I can't afford to sleep late. It'll be a good fight. Breazeale is tough, a bit slower. Wilder's wild, a lot quicker and stronger, so it's going to turn out to be a good fight. So that's Anthony Joshua's statement. So of course, Anthony Joshua, he'll be defending his WBA, IBF, WBO and IBO World Unified Heavyweight titles on June the 1st against Andy Ruiz at Madison Square Garden in New York, which is a very, very interesting fight. So as somebody said to me yesterday, Lawrence, he said that quite clearly what we should be doing is calling Anthony Joshua undisputed, because the other guy doesn't want any smoke with Anthony Joshua. He doesn't want to step up, as Joshua just said right there. He's just not interested in a fight with Anthony Joshua. And Joshua's like, why do we have to wait? Why can't you fight me next? What's the problem? When it's Wilder and his deluded fanatical fan base who've been going on about how one face, one name, one champion, it's not about money, it's about legacy, all we want is the best fight and the best and all this kind of crap. And then they give Wilder a pass for ducking the fight consistently, which is what I've been telling you from day one, that Wilder does not want the fight. You guys will remember one of my interviews with Eddie Hearn. When Eddie Hearn, whenever he talks, he's quite optimistic about the fight happening. And I said to him in that interview, Wilder don't want the fight. He's just using Joshua's name. And here we are, over a year later, still talking about the same thing, because Wilder don't want it. I knew back then he didn't want it, and I know right now he doesn't want it. Why? Because his master Finkel won't allow it. And we know this. They don't want to risk Wilder in the fight. They would rather have a rematch with Luis Ortiz after Dominic Breazeale, if he's successful over Dominic Breazeale, and then go fight Adam Kownacki, and then have two fights with Tyson Fury. As Shelley Finkel said with Tyson Fury, when we fight him, it'll be a guaranteed rematch, no matter who wins, who loses, even if it's a draw, there'll be a rematch. So back-to-back fights. So you're talking 5 fights before they're even going to entertain an undisputed fight with Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder turned down $120 million to fight the guy who he's fighting next in Dominic Breazeale, and then have back-to-back fights for undisputed against Anthony Joshua. And his fans are giving him a pass. Now, I know that there's like a lot of fans who do support him who say, listen, it's obvious that Wilder don't want the fight. We're still supporting him, but fact is, we can see it's not Joshua ducking. We were wrong. But of course, there are some hardcore ones who will just keep on going and going and going because it's a smear campaign against Eddie Hearn. But why? Because they're probably racist. And it's done like Anthony Joshua because he's not American. Okay? So they're riding with this fake paper champion, and Wilder is a fake paper champion because Tyson Fury defeated him. It's obvious to everybody, and the judges screwed Tyson Fury. So Deontay Wilder is in fact a paper champion. He gets a draw, and suddenly what, he thinks he's worth 50-50? Oh, hell no. But regardless of that, his fans just don't want the fight. He don't want the fight. They keep giving him a pass. Shelley Finkel don't want the fight. Shelley Finkel telling Wilder, you're not taking the fight. In fact, you're going to be fighting Luis Ortiz in a fight that we've already seen. Do you remember, like a lot of people, when there was rumours that maybe Anthony Joshua would take on Dillian Whyte? And so many of the Wilder protectors would say, why is he going to fight Dillian Whyte for? Why do we want to see that fight again? We've already seen Anthony Joshua knock out Dillian Whyte. Yeah, 4 years ago we've seen that. But it's only 1 year ago we've seen Wilder knock out Luis Ortiz. So why do we want to see that one? But yet these guys are quite happy to see a rematch. But yet chastise everything that Joshua does. It makes very, very little sense. So clearly Joshua wants the fight. Can it be any more clear? But yet instead his fan base and Wilder want to concentrate on maybe a misinterpretation of what Barry Hearn said at a press conference, even though it's obvious what it was that Barry Hearn was saying. But they want to focus on that and just skate around the fact that Wilder and his team don't want the fight. They won't talk about it. They just won't. They put Luis Ortiz up on this big pedestal. He ducked Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder has continued to duck Anthony Joshua for the last 2 years. And he's going to continue to duck him for the next 2 years, maybe longer. But who's to say that Joshua isn't going to lose against Andrew Ruiz or lose against the guy after that? Who's to say that Wilder isn't going to lose to Breazeale or lose to Adam Kownacki or Luis Ortiz? And then we're missed out because Wilder and Shelley Finkel don't want the fight. Maybe Al Heyman don't want the fight either. Who knows what it is? And Joshua's baffled as much as anybody else. You've been calling for the fight. Well, here it is. Here's $100 million. What, and you still don't want the fight? What's wrong with you? Because these people, they want to live off the fact that Deontay Wilder come out on Instagram and said there's $50 million in the bag, which is ridiculous in itself. Second of all, it turned out that the money was fake because Frank Warren said it's coming from BT Sport. And I'll say it again, for those who've never heard it before, Anthony Joshua cannot fight on BT Sport. Legally, contractually, cannot fight on BT Sport. So it was a fake offer. Wilder's team knew that. They turned down, they accepted $15 million to fight Joshua and come to the UK, got a contract, and they made every excuse in the book not to sign it. Well, no date and no venue. Yet went on and signed up to fight Tyson Fury with no date and venue. You remember, it went on for about 6 or 7 weeks where the fight was on. It's definitely on, according to Shelley Finkel and Frank Warren, but no date and venue for several weeks. The guy's a fraud. Their team is a fraud. And his fanatical fan base, not all his fan base, but his fanatical fan base are no good in this sport of boxing. No good whatsoever. We know why they're here. They're here looking for their super chats. They're here just to troll. But it's a real sad state of affairs, isn't it? When you've got Deontay Wilder, this is the best guy that you could follow. Why? Because he's linked with Anthony Joshua. When he's linked with Anthony Joshua, you get views, you get subs, you get your super chats. That's why they're doing it. When Deontay Wilder loses, and it won't be long, he will lose real soon. You watch these guys disperse. And they'll be talking about, or leeching on to the next guy. It'll be Errol Spence or back to the Charlos or something like that. Anyway, Anthony Joshua doesn't understand why Deontay Wilder does not want the fight next. As he says right here, why do you have to wait till 2020? It could turn into 2021 with all the things that's going on. Why not fight now? Why not fight 2019? Why do we have to wait? Joshua has said time and time again, let's get it on. Let's fight. Why? Because he knows he will smooth out Wilder. Easy work. This will be Charles Martin 2.0. Wilder will not be able to take it. He won't be able to take it. Wilder knows it. Shelley Finkel knows it. His fan base knows it. But they don't want to give up that belt. PBC won't allow them to give up that belt or risk it because that'll be the WBC belt outside of the PBC platforms. Pretty obvious, isn't it? So anyway, for me, I think that Anthony Joshua just concentrate on your fight with Andy Ruiz, which is no easy fight. Wilder, go do what you're going to do. Carry on fighting in the shadows. And keep on ducking Undisputed and lying to your fans. Quite clearly, you don't want the fight. Your fans don't want to fight. And it doesn't matter what you say. You can even say how you want to be pregnant, which you did. And your fans will still support you. But they're not really fans. They're not your fans. Once you lose, you're back on your own again. So why not lose and take $100 million home with you? But even that isn't enough. Why? Because Master Finkel won't allow it. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.